let's bring you up to speed with some news making headlines across the world of business. The International Monetary Fund has maintained its 3.2% forecast for Nigeria's economic growth in 2023 and 3% for 2024. The Washington-based financial institution made the projections in its latest World Economic Outlook report released on Tuesday. In a report titled Near-Term Resilience, Persistent Challenges, it also predicted that Sub-Saharan Africa will experience a decrease in growth, projected at 3.5% in 2023, followed by a recovery to 4.1% in 2024. Similarly, it estimates that Nigeria's growth prospects for 2023 and 2024 were anticipated to gradually decline, aligning with the projections made in April, primarily due to security concerns in the oil sector. It also stated that global inflation was projected to decline from 8.7% in 2022 to 6.8% this year, indicating a 0.2 percentage points decline and 5.24% in 2024. The National Bureau of Statistics says retail price for refilling the 5 kg ceiling gas, that's cooking gas, dropped by 6.71% on a month-on-month basis to 4,068 naira in May 2023. On a year-on-year basis, it dropped by 3.56% from 4,218 in June 2022. In terms of state profiling, now we start with refilling in Kwara State, which recorded the highest average price, refilling a 5 kg cylinder at 4,750, followed by Niger State, 4,691, Zamfara 4,683. Ondo recorded the lowest price of 3,288, followed by Ekiti and Nasarawa with 3,288 naira and 3,365 naira respectively. Additionally, the average retail price for refilling a 12 kg cooking gas decreased by 4.35% on a month-on-month basis to 9,123 in June 2023 from 9,537 on a year-on-year basis, declined 3.82%. Now, for over 5 decades, the Nigerian economy has predominantly depended on crude oil sales, accounting for over 80% of the country's revenue and foreign exchange earnings. Due to the nature of the oil sector, any external shocks have potential to affect the production capacity of the nation and significant effect on the economy. With these realities, it is obvious that we need trade and non-exports not only to drive the economy, but also to shore up forex to augment the current shortage. Let's assess the development in the sector, and no other person is joining me to do this than the #1 exporter in the country. He's the Chief Executive Officer, Executive Director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Dr. Ezra Yakusak. Dr. Yakusak, thank you so much. It's good to see you today. Good afternoon. If you can hear me, Dr. Yakusak, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council said non-oil exports in the first half of 2023 declined marginally to 2.5 billion. That's from 2.539 from 2.593. Please shed more light on this and let us understand what is responsible for this.
Well, thank you very much. I think basically the factors that were responsible for this slight dip or slight export performance contributed to the general election. You know, we had a general election in February and March 2023. And of course, that election affected the general economic activity and of course was affected slightly. And largely, again, there are issues concerning global demand of some of our commodities, not only our commodities, other commodities in other countries. So I think basically these are some of the issues that affected non-oil export performance. Slight dip of 0.09%. But it is not all bad news, because if you look at it closely, we exported 24 products to different countries, and that's an increase over even the 2022. And during this time under review, that's from January to June 2023, there were new products that came on board. We had tapioca residue, we had cowpeas, we had citrus or orange peel, and of course, in the non-Olex performance, been ahead.
Dr. Yakusak, we need to go on a break. We are not getting the best of this. We need to reconnect and continue this conversation. We're glad to have you back. Yes, we have Dr. Ezra Yakusak, now Executive Director, CEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council there. So you were making sense to us what's responsible for this decline before we went on that break.
You know, what I said before we went on break is the fact that we had a general election in February and March 2023. And that general election affected some economic activities in the country, and no oil export is not an exception. And of course, we had some decline in global demands of our commodities. So I think basically these are some of the factors, main factors that led to the slight decline in our non-oil performance. And as you earlier said in your introduction, is just about 0.09%. But then it wasn't bad news all the way. We exported about over 224 products as against the 214 products that we had in 2022. And also, there were new products that came on board. We had sorghum, we had tapioca residue, we had cowpeas, and of course, we had cowpeas and orange peel or citrus peel. These are new products that came on board, and which for us is good news because we keep on developing these products and making sure that they are adapted to different international markets.
Interesting. Yes, we have you proper. We can hear you and see you well now. Now, let's talk more about improving capacity. I'm interested in expanding that base of exporters. What is NEPC doing at the moment with regards to this?
In terms of building capacity, one of the statutory functions of NEPC is to build capacity of exporters. That's one of our main functions, because we realize that if you don't build capacity of exporters, they cannot compete favorably in the international market. I mean, their products will not compete. So we need to build capacity of exporters. The NEPC has been doing so much. From January to June alone, we had about 240 different capacity building programs targeted at exporters in our 34 state offices. And these programs are custom-made or tailor-made to fit the needs of specific of exporters, depending on the sector and depending on the product they are dealing with. Let me give you an example. On 10th and 11th May 2023, we had a capacity building program for women. About 121 women were in attendance. And it was basically on packaging because we realized there's a gap in that area. Just about this Monday, 24th of July, 2023, we had two different programs. One was in Lagos, where we trained 50 SMEs on how to export fish, to various markets. Similarly, we had a similar program in Akwa Ibom, the same date, that's Monday 24th. We also trained various SMEs on seafood products and how to export it. The essence is to build capacity of exporters and to ensure that they access the international market seamlessly.
Let's talk about being competitive in a large market. And right now, the focus is on Africa. The AFCFTA, much talked about. Where are we with regards to that? Are we making enough progress? Because I want Nigeria to take part in this very big market. Where are we?
Yeah, we are making progress, but I must confess that the progress is a bit slow, but we are making appreciable progress. By the way, I need to tell you that the AFTA, as it's called, it was initiated by our various African leaders to boost trade among Africa and to ensure sustainable development and industrialization within Africa. And that was the essence of it. And of course, you know, in Africa, we have about 54 African countries with a total population of about 1.2 billion and a combined GDP of about $3 trillion. And so with that market there was they felt the need to further interact or interchange or to trade among ourselves. But right now, as I'm talking to you, we introduce what we call the Guided Trade Initiative. The Guided Trade Initiative was launched in October 2022. And the essence of it is to test run the practicability of AFTA. And so in line with, or in collaboration with the National Action Committee on AFTA, we had a seminar where we trained exporters. But right now, we are targeting 4 exporters in Nigeria to commence or to test run the AFTA operation under the Guided Trade Initiative. The essence of that also is to see if there are lapses, if there are challenges that can be solved or that can be corrected, that can be done at that stage. But right now, I believe we're achieving, we are moving ahead, but it's a bit slow, but we'll reach there.
Slow and steady. Well, the federal government says the country targets to earn $5 billion from exporting jobs in the outsourcing industry. That's by 2024. Sounds very good, but how achievable is this?
Yeah, outsourcing is basically export of services. And I must also tell you that export of services is an area we've not done so much, and because of its unique nature. Unlike products, services are intangible. So to get that all around and to get the data and to move on is quite a bit challenging. But if there's a cash cow, if there's a low-hanging fruit, if you are talking about the future of trade, is actually in services. And so the 5 billion being projected is, even to my personal opinion, the 5 billion is even understated. Because if you look at the report of PwC, that report came up in August 2022. That report was on Nigerian brain export. You also look at this Trade in Services for Development, a publication by the World Bank Group and also the WTO. If you look at the combined effect of these 2 reports, indicate that Nigeria has so much potential in services. Let me tell you one thing. Our top artists, most of the times, when they perform outside the shore of this country, they are paid $200,000 per one performance. And I'm not talking about our artists in terms of football. I'm not talking of other athletics and other services like business process outsourcing. So it is a whole market out there that we just need to come together, harness it, and move on. And in doing that, Nigeria Export Promotion Council organized for the first time a national conference on trade in services. That was held on 19 July 2023, about just a week or 2 ago, last week. We had that conference, and many stakeholders came. They were there, and the communique and, of course, the contributions in that conference was very amazing and very revealing. So in NEPC, we're working on how we can put that to bear and see how we can move in terms of services, while we are targeting the $5 billion mark.
Now, how do you see the policy direction of this present administration with regards to non-oil exports?
I can say so far so good. Like Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, he hit the ground running, as you can see. But almost some of the policies I can mention right away that we are so impressed at Nigeria Export Promotion Council is, there is this presidential initiative for agri-development, PFAD. And if you look at that policy, they outlined 5 programs that the present administration is they intend to implement. And one of that program is the wheat development program. We have the National Livestock Transformation Plan, and also there is the agri-processing, special agri-processing zone. We also have the Green Imperative project and the Family Support project. Now, if you look, the main objective of these programs, one is to increase employment by direct jobs by 2 million and indirect jobs by 6 million. But what our attention is drawn to the fact that that program is to ensure sufficiency, food security, and that Nigeria should be the largest exporter of food in the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa. And that is very important for us because it has made us as a council to go there and start working towards that direction. And there's this also policy on the policy by this present administration, and it has to do with it has to do with ensuring that Nigeria, their creation, various terminals, various airport terminals, in various airport terminals, export are dedicated. Various airport terminals are dedicated to export. And where infrastructure, again, are going to be built towards those export terminals. Of course, there's the trade policy that has been established by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. That policy, chapter 4 of that policy, specifically is dedicated to export, promotion, and development. From these policies, you will agree with me that the export of this country, non-oil export of this country, we're going to generate more foreign exchange, and we're going to generate more jobs. And of course, the Nigerian economy will be better for it with time.
Let's wrap up with your outlook for the non-oil space, considering inflation, hiking prices of goods and services amidst others.
Well, our outlook is that of hope, like I keep on saying, is lack of hope despite this. Now, naturally, when economic or policies are there and you think it's a disruption, it's a matter of time. Things will stabilize, and we're going to, things to move on at the end of the day. So, but I can say we're still looking at the $5 billion mark at the end of the year 2023 in terms of non-oil export performance, because the indices are right, and so that's our belief, that's our target, and I hope and I believe we're going to achieve it.
All right, we wish you all the best, and we'll keep it up, keep monitoring all of these figures. Thank you so much, Dr. Israel Yakusak. Despite your tight schedules, able to spare time for us to discuss issues that have to do with non-oil exports. Executive Director, CEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me.
All right.